ลาวถือเขาลานลุกล้ำเหยียบย่ำอาทิตย์ปไตยเอาคนลาวอย่ามัวเสยดูใดจงรวมใจสามัคคีดับศัตรูให้มวยเป็นผุยผงเต่าคงคืนทรณีเอายอมตายดังสายซาดสาตีสีบยอมคีเพื่อลาว
Welcome back. This is broadcast number 5. For first-time listeners, I would like to say hello, welcome, and thank you very much for tuning in. Awareness is knowledge, and knowledge is power. For our avid listeners, I offer a very warm welcome back. This broadcast will certainly be an interesting one. Before we continue on with the news, consider these names: Anne-Sophie Gindras and Sombath Somphone. Let's see what's currently going on in the country of Laos.
NGO Director expelled. Laos said Friday it is expelling the director of a Swiss development organization for criticizing Laos in a letter to donors that says the country's one-party regime stifles debate and creates a hostile environment for aid groups. Anne-Sophie Gindras, the country director for Helvetis Swiss Intercooperation, which works on agricultural development in the country, was given 48 hours to leave Laos in a notice on Friday from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The notice said she was being expelled because the Lao government was dismayed by her improper behavior and unconstructive attitude towards Laos, citing a letter she had written to donor countries and organizations ahead of an annual meeting on aid to the country. I have no regret about what I have said, done, or written, and I will continue to have my convictions and use my freedom to defend the freedom of others, Gindras said in an email to friends and colleagues on Friday. In her November letter ahead of the 2012 Roundtable Implementation Meeting in Vientiane, part of an annual process for dialogue on foreign aid strategy, Gindras had criticized the Lao government as creating a hostile environment for development and civil society groups by stifling freedom of expression and association. We are working in a challenging environment. This is a country governed by a single-party regime where there is little space for meaningful democratic debate, and when taking advantage of that limited space, repercussions follow, she said in the letter. She had also criticized the selection of civil society groups invited to participate in the roundtable process, suggesting that only those who cooperated with the Lao government and refrained from speaking out against poor policies were allowed to participate. At the end of this year's November 23rd meeting, 42 organizations and 35 countries who donate to Laos agreed to impose stricter conditions on aid to ensure efficiency and transparency, particularly on infrastructure projects to deter possible corruption and ensure aid projects to benefit the Lao people.
Sombath Somphone, former executive director of the Participatory Development Training Center, is currently missing. The 60-year-old social activist was last seen in police custody before being taken away by unidentified men in a truck per surveillance footage. The Lao government, via statement, has denied any responsibility for Somphone's disappearance, but has instead suggested that he may have been kidnapped over a personal dispute. However, Somphone's family is currently unaware of any disagreements that he may have had. Human Rights Watch, based in New York, released a statement that the circumstances of Somphone's disappearance, quote, indicate that Lao authorities took him into custody, unquote. Brad Adam, Asia Director of Human Rights Watch, states, quote, the Lao government needs to immediately reveal Somphone's location and release him. Lao authorities should come clean on the enforced disappearance of this prominent social leader and take steps to stem the deepening climate of fear his disappearance has caused, unquote. Adams continues with, quote, the Lao authorities should recognize that Somphone's years of development work has earned him important friends around the world and that the clamor for his release is not going to go away, unquote. Somphone, the founder and former director of the Participatory Development Training Center in Laos, received the prestigious Ramon Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership in 2005 as a result of his work in the fields of education and development across Asia. The case has currently caught United States attention. State Department spokesman Victoria Nuland has asked the Lao government to aid in his recovery. Quote, "We have registered our concern with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Laos and encouraged them to make every effort to locate him and figure out what has happened here." Unquote. According to the International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance states, quote, "Anyone detained by law enforcement and security forces must be held at recognized places of detention, be provided all due process rights including access to family and legal counsel, and be protected from torture and other cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment." Unquote. However, the country of Laos is currently not a party of this convention. Human Rights Watch is currently concerned that, quote, "he could be at serious risk of ill treatment." Unquote. On Friday, the 21st of December 2012, the United Nations have joined the effort to encourage Laos to locate and recover Somphone and express concern that his disappearance may be tied to his work in human rights. Rupert Colville, spokesperson for the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, said his organization was distressed, quote, "by what appears to be the enforced disappearance of Mr. Sombath Somphone," unquote. Currently, a group of over 61 civil society organizations in Thailand has encouraged Laos to take, quote, "every urgent action," unquote, in a letter to the Lao government, Thai and Singaporean embassies in Vientiane, and to Surin Putsuwan, Secretary General of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, better known as ASEAN. Wow, that is going to be some very unfortunate news. To my avid listeners, you know what's coming next. To my new listeners, this is the point where I share my own opinions, my thoughts, and pretty much anything I would like to talk about regarding anything that you just heard. Now, this is going to be to Anne-Sophie Gindros. Unconstructive attitude. I would have to disagree with the decision the Laos government had made to deem your attitude unconstructive. Ma'am, you have simply informed aid groups or potential aid to the country of Laos of what is actually going on. Your criticism regarding the Laos government of creating a hostile environment for development and civil society groups by stifling freedom of association and expression cannot be more accurate. It is unfortunate that the Laos government was ashamed of the truth to the point that you were to leave the country within a 48-hour notice. I would just like you to know that you have people who support your conviction and the headway you have made due to your decision. We support you and would like to let you know this. To Sombath Somphone, our prayers are with you, hoping that you're safe and well. You have many friends and supporters whom of which will not stop until you are found. Brad Adam has even affirmed this statement. The noise will not stop until you are safe and located, and the responsible parties involved in your current disappearance will be severely pressured due to this. Stay strong, and we will continue to try to bring light to your darkness. This concludes our broadcast. Please feel free to comment because feedback is encouraged and your comments could be featured in the next broadcast. If you're interested in viewing the surveillance footage pertaining to Sombath Somphone's disappearance, please click the link in the description portion below. Everyone, stay safe, and as usual, have an outstanding day.